If you can't hear, they'll give you earphones.
Yep. Great.
I know it's a planning board meeting, Tom.
Yes.
What are you planning for, a barbecue?
Yeah, have a seat.
Nice pig roast? That's all right. I'm in.
We'll do it.
It's okay.
It's in this. That's the antique seat.
Thank you.
You can break that.
Oh, yeah, we have an issue with one of them,
Easy.
didn't we?
You didn't hear it.
Is that the twin to the one Gary took out?
Yeah, I think it is. That's the one you took apart so it would fall.
No, nobody did that.
659.
8 o'clock says 7 o'clock, the meeting is called to order. We'll take attendance. Ed Ingalls,
Here?
Marshall Goldberg,
Here.
Kerry McMenamy,
Here.
Gus Stratton,
Here.
Terry Ward,
Here.
Rick Surratt, present, Rich Zacher,
Here.
all in. No need for alternates, we don't have them anyway. Any public comments tonight? Announcements, correspondence, mail. There's planning board training available this month. Did everyone get that email?
Yeah.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Saturday.
This coming Saturday?
Yeah. I can't do it.
I can't either.
Shoot.
I can't either.
I think there's people from the ZBA going now,
Oh, good.
so if somebody wanted to go in carpool, I don't know, give you a loan.
You know, I thought I could go, and I tried to sign up for it, and it wanted a password. Does the town have a password to get in to sign up?
There's a password to get into that account, yes.
Is that in Concord?
I think the course is in
It's
Manchester.
in Manchester. I was going to go, but I could have gone in Concord, but I can't go to Manchester. But if anybody else wants to go, and I think Karen, they're going to have it Zoom meeting too, aren't they?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Okay.
Ed Guthier is trying to work for the ZBA, so if someone wants to go, give him a shot.
All right. All right. Moose Mountain. We got the application, we got the check, and what I wanted to do is, all these things that are on this application still going to be applied for on this application. Okay, so we need a detailed description of each one, because this is what we're going to go into a public hearing with. So I want you to just describe everything that's going on in each and every one of these. You got time? Make a good paragraph and be inclusive of everything that's going to be done, because that's what's going to be handed out at the public hearing when we have it, so people will know what you're doing. That's what I wanted you here for tonight, so I could tell you to, or ask you to include that, so we can put it with our package.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
In addition to the paragraph, I think you want to specify everything that you're asking for. Hours of operation, where it's going to be, the ice skating rink, for example. Where's the ice skating rink going to be? How big is it going to be? What are the hours of operation? So for each activity, I think we need something, what you're saying, I think we need something in black and white that we can present to the town. But it's more than just a paragraph. I mean, everything you want. Where it's going to be, we need an updated map. So,
What do you mean by updated map?
where's the ice skating rink going to be?
So on the maps that were used previously, those maps or a new map?
In my opinion, on the map that is the outline of the area, you're proposing to have an ice skating rink. Where's that going to be?
Okay.
You're proposing to have a movie theater. Where's that going to be? You're proposing many things on that list, so you have to describe what it is, hours of operation, where it's going to be on your map.
So if I include that on the map after that I submit it, and you guys approve it, the town approves it, whatever, and we say, oh, the ice skating rink really isn't gonna work there because we got a designer involved, and they said that it needs different, drainage, and it needs to go on the left side of the building rather than the right side of the building. Is that something that we have to revisit because we submitted something that says it's gonna be here in print?
I believe so. You're asking for an activity here, you're describing it. That's, I think why Richard said you're gonna go through all these.
Well,
So
the
it's-
thing is it's gonna be future use, so it's gonna be within the future, so that's why I'm asking for approval now. So if I don't include, size, shape, exactly where it's gonna go, most of these activities are gonna happen before the tree line that separates us from the road, which is already about 400 feet. So give or take, everything's gonna be about 400 feet from the road. But if I was to not include an exact location, but say it's gonna be behind the tree line, is that something that I would have to resubmit for in the future?
Can I try? Picture the public hearing.
Yep,
The audience is filled.
yep.
You're gonna get up and say, we're gonna have an ice skating rink.
Mhm.
And they're gonna say where, and what hours of operation, and how are they gonna recommend or give the board feedback on what you're asking for? Well, someday we're gonna have an ice skating rink. You think that'll fly with the public?
Yes.
Okay, try it. You're welcome to try it.
So it's not absolutely needed that I put a direct location?
You could vote it down. You can go that way too.
Okay.
So this is no longer an abbreviated site plan.
Not with all this stuff on there.
Okay, so what I would throw out there is that we will give you a full description of what is conditional, conditional common. So what is not on the permitted list. And there's a couple on there that we put on there that were conditional. And there's one that we gotta refine. I'm all for that. We'll give you specifics on that. But the permitted uses, it's a waste of time, in my eyes. If we go to the public meeting and our neighbors want to ask us questions and nail it down, they can come up with some concerns. If it's the hours, if it's the location, we can answer that and we can put it down on paper if need be. But I think we're wasting a lot of time giving you specifics on everything on that list. That's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I'm against it because it was a permitted use when we got here.
We're asking for descriptions of all these things.
All the permitted uses. So if you put the permitted uses aside, okay, we don't give specifics until the meeting happens, and our neighbors are concerned with this and that on specific permitted uses, we'll answer those questions. But the conditional uses that don't exist anymore that we've submitted, I'm all for giving specifics on that, time, location, all that. But the rest of it, I'm going to stick with the permitted uses because when we bought into this deal, they were allowed. And now that you guys are trying to make them conditional, that's not fair to us, and it's going to take a lot of time. So I think we got 3 or 4 things that will give you specifics on everything that's not on that permitted list. The permitted list, it really needs to be left alone, unless the public and our neighbors want questions answered, and we'll answer them. But putting them down, every single...
I'm asking you, Steve, for a description in particular of the restaurant, full-service restaurant, bar room, whatever you got, I don't know. I want to know what you're doing up there. I want a paragraph explaining everything you want to do in there. If you want an ice skating rink, we're going to need specifics. It's this is the trouble with having all this crap on here.
Okay.
I'm not going to, wait, let me make it easy for you. If you want to come back later for another site plan review for any of these things, I won't charge you for it. If it's the $400, You know, you said you put them all because you don't want to pay $400 every time you come in. I'm not going to charge you for it. They'll make it easy for you. And the second thing is, it was brought to my attention from the old chairman that he made a mistake. He didn't publish Appendix E correctly, and the conditional uses are still there. What they took off was the non-permitted uses.
It seems like there's a lot of
But
that.
previously, in previous meetings, you said that the conditional uses were taken off.
Wait, good turn, please.
There's a lot of fuzzy stuff going on here, and it's upsetting us, all right? I'm ready to walk out and have you guys try and enforce your cease and desist, and just have the lawyer come down here. I'm going out of my way to avoid that, because I know when we have to get a lawyer, we're gonna go full bore, and that's gonna do nothing but hurt you guys and the town. And there's nothing that I've said says we will lose that, because nothing has been followed. This is a bunch of crap. I'm sure.
So you're of the opinion, you don't want us, you don't need a site plan review, you're just gonna do whatever you want.
We're doing a site plan review.
Okay? This is what we want. I brought you here tonight to tell you that we need these things when we go into the public hearing. That's how we're gonna run the public hearing, that's how we're doing the site plan review. If you wanna comply, comply. If you don't.
We're complying.
I'm done talking to you guys, okay?
Okay, all right.
Review of the minutes of the last meeting. Okay, wait a minute, go ahead.
For your paragraphs that you want on all of the permitted uses, would you be able to get me a list of definitions for all of those permitted uses by what those are defined with you as a town? Because for each of those, I would assume that there's other, rules and regulations that you guys would put into the definition, such as an ice rink. So is that including a wall? Is that just including, frozen water on the ground? Is that including, what are the prerequisites to the permitted land uses that I would have to then define?
Molly, our zoning just kind of missed that. We don't have ice rinks in there. So make a proposal. What do you want to do for an ice rink?
Okay, and then after I put in the, paragraph of the description of each of those, is that a legally binding definition of what we're going to be doing? And is that what's going to be legally binded between us and the town?
It's what's
Or
gonna,
is that just what we are proposing and could change with flexibility?
it's what you're going to be presenting to the town. Because when it comes time to put in an ice rink, you're going to be pulling building permits
Right,
and everything else. So there'll be time for that.
okay. So it wouldn't be legally binding?
It'll be for the public hearing.
Okay. So is that binding or no? Because my thing is if I'm going to propose an ice rink and I say, it's going to be 20 feet by 40 feet, and it's going to be a pretty small ice rink, just using that as the example from tonight, and we actually need it to go an extra 20 feet in both direction because we have to level out.
It'll be flexible. Of course it's flexible.
I just want to make sure that when I'm writing stuff out, because it will be me that's going to have to write those paragraphs.
Can I try?
Yeah.
So we have different visions of what an ice skating rink look like.
Right,
I see some in Exeter that are in buildings.
right,
I see some in Wolfboro that are outside with just a border around it.
right.
What's the vision you want us to have?
That's
the question.
I would say it would be an outdoor ice rink.
Put it
But-
down because people
But I don't
don't.
want to write that down and be locked into that.
You won't.
Dead
You
set.
won't. It's flexible.
Okay, that's what I just want to clarify, is to make sure that I'm not walking myself into a
No,
dead
you're
end
not.
where I'm not going to be able to turn around and say, hey guys, I actually need an extra 20 feet to make it.
At the conclusion of a public hearing, the board can say, great idea, ice skating rink, you can operate, I'm making this up, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Mhm.
So those restrictions could be put on the ice skating rink. If it's outside, maybe there's a noise issue. If it's a structure, maybe it would go to 10 PM. So, I mean,
And
there are some constraints that could come out of a public hearing.
no, I get that, I absolutely get that. And then, just question it further, you said something about noise. Is there a way you guys, control the noise ordinance, or is there a decimal that you guys go to or anything like that? How are those decisions made for noise outside? What is kind of like your rough rule that you guys go by? Just so I know for future reference.
Usually if you're disturbing the peace, you might get a call. Don't forget, you're a recreation area and you're in a residential zone. You're not downtown, you're not out in the middle of nowhere, so there's a noise issue with outdoor activities. Dana?
In regards to that noise, we are on a main snowmobile trail, so I mean, they're going through there all hours of the night, which they're probably making a lot more noise than anybody that's up there skating is gonna make.
Yeah, well, take into consideration in the wintertime, people's windows are closed.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the one thing I do know is they go through there because they wake me up.
Yeah, we hear them.
One thing, don't wake Dana up. He yells at me too for it all the time for that van. Started the van, Molly, I heard
Us old
that.
guys know how to sleep, don't we?
Just have your descriptions for everything prepared for a public hearing.
Okay.
It's not scheduled yet, but we're moving up to that.
Okay.
At some point, we're going to schedule a site inspection, a visit, and then from there, we'll move on to a public hearing when we get all our documentation together.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like the process just for us to be informed on that end, like our next couple of steps. So like setting up the site review that you guys would come out for. Is that something we'd have to come back for a meeting to set up? Or is that something that you would just kind of email me?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
just email?
We'll give you notice when we can get together and come up.
Okay.
We'll work out a time.
Okay. And is that everything? Are we doing a big old walk?
Yeah.
Or are we doing
Yeah, we're doing a big old walk.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I have everything in kind of like where I would need to take you guys to show you where stuff's going to be and stuff like that.
Yes.
I did just have another question, but it slipped my mind.
So I'll make a comment.
Yeah.
You've talked about having beverages outside.
Yeah.
Make sure you show that on your plan, right?
Yeah, I've submitted those plans previously, twice.
Okay, I mean, you want outside, put
So-
down what you want.
That's also another thing with the outside alcohol. You said that it was also previously, we have a previous site plan for special events, banquet facility activities such as weddings. So normally if we were to have a wedding, our outdoor seating or outdoor alcohol would be different than, it would be in like a tent area, somewhere flat where we'd be able to set that up. Those would be two different extended licenses from the Liquor Commission, just so you guys know. That would be regulated by the state. Every place that we put alcohol on the property would be covered by the state. But is there a way, should I ask the planning board at this meeting tonight if they'll approve that so I can come to the selectmen in the future this month for one of those? Because I am having a few banquet facility activities that I'm
We
asking.
won't approve anything until the public hearing.
Well, we already have a site plan for banquet facility.
Well,
You said that.
yes, you do. You can have special events.
Right.
You
So
have-
if
you
I'm
have a
going to
site plan
selectmen
committee
for
for
outside alcohol, which is just a selectmen signed letter for our regular activities.
You have a site plan review, and that has everything included for special events.
Right.
That doesn't include your restaurant.
No, it would be outdoor alcohol, which Ashley Mames got back in 2014.
So if that's on that site plan review, of course you can do it.
It's not on the site plan review because it's a state license that was issued. It wasn't something that was issued through you guys.
Special events are a one-shot deal. Just,
Okay, so could you maybe make a motion that the board approves outdoor alcohol for special
No,
events to
no,
bring to
we're
the
not making that
selectmen?
motion. We're gonna
Okay.
take hearing, well, it's not a public hearing.
Well, I'm looking to go to the selectmen within the next couple weeks to
I-
ask.
I'm not a
Because-
selectman, but I don't think you have to. If you want to do a
No,
wedding or have a special event, just do it. Get the
no,
permits
I'm
that you
allowed
need
to
from the
have,
state. Special event is different than any daily barroom operation.
Right.
Rick,
So,
I
I
think
need
the
a-
issue is in the past, they could have wine and beer on the patio, I believe, when they had functions. I believe they're looking to have hard alcohol on the patio now, and that's where they're looking for some relief. And so far, the selectmen have said no to that, because we haven't completed the site plan review process.
Also including special events, which they have.
No
Site-
hard alcohol outside.
So that site plan review for the special events has no alcohol also.
I don't know if we ever did the site plan review for special events.
He did special events in snow tubing.
We did what?
The site plan review that was done was for special events in snow tubing.
And what did it say about hard alcohol?
doesn't say anything about alcohol.
Then I suspect it's not permitted, right?
I got a,
Like Dana.
it was under my understanding, and you guys can correct me on this, that when the town voted to allow alcohol, that it was a full alcohol permit that was voted on, that it was Bob's choice to stay with the beer and wine, and one of the reasons he didn't want to stay is because he has to maintain so many hours with a full alcohol license, which he didn't want to do. He wanted to be more flexible, be able to open weekends, you know, stay with the weekends and stuff, which limited him to the beer and wine. And I was under the understanding that it was his choice to stay with the beer and wine, that the town actually voted for a full alcohol license at the time when it was voted on.
I believe the town said the town is no longer going to be dry. You can have alcohol.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't specific to the rec area. It was for the town.
For the town, there was a vote on the whole town?
Yes.
Because I know at the time, he chose not to go that way only because it restricted, he had to stay open longer and he didn't have the staff, he wanted to,
It was for the town.
that was through the state, you know, the state mandated that part of it.
Just to throw that in there, the town did vote beer, wine, and liquor,
Yes, it did.
so it would be all three.
Yes, it did.
Quick question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
One clarification first, just to, I guess, get it on tape in the minutes. We did encourage you guys to only put the restaurant through. Now we have 15 things on here or whatever. And the procedure going forward, is it sort of all or none? So all these things are being asked for, and we either reject it in its entirety, or is it sort of like line item veto? Like, yeah, no RV parking after the public hearing, take that off and we'll let it go through. How does the procedure work from here?
After we have the public hearing, I envision this as being a line item.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
You still have to, I mean, once you have this public hearing, you still got to talk it over and see where it fits, what people's concerns are and all that, who is actually in a butter that has a legitimate concern, who isn't, right? You got to talk a lot of it through, so you can't make a decision during, the public hearing is going to happen, then you've got to have some discussion before you can even make a decision on stuff, I think.
Exactly right.
I went to some other towns and said, tell me about your site plan review process.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll have a public hearing, and the public or the board will ask additional questions, and the applicant goes away to answer those questions because it wasn't clear.
Yeah,
And then, so that process can go on and on and on. So some towns it goes on for 6 months because questions come up asking for clarification, and they can't be answered at the public hearing.
right.
So you continue the hearing for another month, and then you get those answers. So the broader it is, the
Right,
more
well,
we get.
yeah. And I really do appreciate you guys asking us and giving this information to us and allowing us to try to revamp things. I understand where you guys are coming from, and I appreciate it. I do want to say that on my behalf, and Molly, I think you're, I do thank you for bringing us in tonight.
I hope we answered some questions before they're even asked, but, I'm just gonna say again, this whole pile of stuff it is, I envision it being problematic.
He will.
I envision it being problematic, but putting all this before the public all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you wanna just get it cleared and put away, but, we just strongly suggest you focus on the prize and get these things done one thing at a time as they come up. Maybe it'll go easier for you.
Well, many years of gray hair, the one thing I have learned, any change always rubs somebody wrong. And you're always gonna hear something about it. People don't like change.
True. That's why we have the public hearing and we talk all this stuff over. Gives them a chance to get used to it.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Thanks for coming in.
And I will say thank you again for bringing us in and going over these things. And we'll try to iron out the rough edges here, try to work with it a little bit, smooth things a little bit.
Okay.
And thank you for your patience.
My pleasure.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Dan.
What's that?
Thank you guys, have a good night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Well, we got the
Good
minutes.
night.
You need copies or?
Well, I just wanted to see it.
So I made the correction that Rich sent about that we had a public hearing.
Thanks,
So that section was added.
right.
And there's a typo, just that the next meeting was tomorrow, not today. And other than that, I didn't have any other issue with it.
And we made a motion to approve the lot line adjustment.
Oh, yeah,
That-
that's what I added.
So I'll make a motion to accept the meeting as written. The only change is the time for the meeting has to be edited in.
Can you just say the date for me?
You said the 14th?
The draft minutes said November 12th, which is tomorrow, and it should have said November 11th.
So this is November.
Today, which is today.
This is for the meeting of October 14th.
Thank you.
And then we have the October 21st minutes. The correction that Rich made was in the October 14 minutes. The November 12 error was in the October 21 minutes.
So motion's on the table to accept both the October 14th and the October 24th as edited, just that date change.
Yep.
I'll second that. Second, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. Back to, on new business, we have to start warrant discussions. And we haven't really got to that because we've been doing a lot of talking with Moose Mountain. So I want to recommend that we have an extra meeting this month to catch up on some of these things. We'll need to review the zoning, et cetera, and see if there's any holes that we need to close or any editing that we need to do that has to go on the ballot.
So that clarification on the conditional doesn't need to go on the ballot. That's housekeeping.
That's housekeeping.
I'll take care of that and get it done. We get it posted on the website, so that's
Yep.
correct.
So if these warrant discussions are for, to be presented to the voters in March?
Yes.
So do we have any ideas about changes to the zone?
Didn't we have to make a correction on the 5 acre minimum? Didn't we have to, wasn't there something we had to do on that?
Someone suggested
There was some confusion or something.
Clarification.
Clarification. Doesn't hurt if there's confusion, we can clarify.
Yeah, but
The other one that I think we got nipped on is we're weak on definitions. We've got a whole host of terms, but we don't define them. And
So-
the one-
Yeah, so the language, I think we talked about a couple of meetings ago, that we should somehow, I don't know where it goes exactly, but we should have something in there that says, if there's no definition in our zoning, you go by the state's definition.
And we gotta confirm that with the lawyer.
Yeah.
See if that holds up. Because we've looked at state definitions for full-service restaurant, right? And I read that definition as like a Wakefield Inn.
Like, you know, white tablecloths and
Yeah, that's my vision of a full-service restaurant.
bright red, whatever.
And the pub would be considered a full-service restaurant. So if you look at the liquor commission's definition, it's the white tablecloth, whatever. But we don't specify. We don't specify what a full-service restaurant is in our zoning. So now a judge can make a decision.
So we can't loosen up what the state defines as a full-service restaurant.
I would embrace theirs, and I think that's what Ed's saying, if we could embrace theirs, I think we'd be happy. But there's a whole, that's just an example, you go, talk about ADUs, you talk about all our issues. How do you define an ADU? State says you need a stove, I think. Ours doesn't. So,
Yeah, it just says it has to be connected or something,
Yeah.
right? It's got one, and they've got like 6 things that it needs.
so it'd be great if we could say, let's embrace the state's definitions, if that's legal.
So recall, we were at the lawyer's office and she looked at a couple of menus and said, that's a full-service
That's,
restaurant.
everybody, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So for example, Lino's would not be considered full service, right? Because he doesn't have serve alcohol. Breakfast place. Or,
I don't think you need to serve alcohol to be full service.
No, you don't need to
Oh,
serve
okay.
alcohol.
But the liquor commission has a very good definition of what a full service restaurant is.
right. Okay.
And Rick said,
What a cocktail lounge is.
yes, what a cocktail lounge is, that's exactly right.
And the receipts from the restaurant and the cocktail lounge have to match. 50/50.
I don't know that.
That's in the liquor commission.
So how do we,
You can't do 10% food, 90% alcohol, according to them. So
I guess my point is, if we're gonna meet 2 weeks or whatever, are we gonna have something to look at, or are we just gonna start brainstorming then? That's what I'm trying to get ahead of.
perhaps a trip to the lawyer on some of these things would be before the next meeting. And we're gonna start brainstorming then. It'll give us a week to look at the, if we vote to have another meeting this month, it'll give us some time to just scan through the zoning and see what we find for holes or weak spots. And then we'll bring them up. But we're not gonna put warrants on everything, but if there's things that are really gonna help the town, we'll tackle a few of them.
Just on that, the liquor commission has a broader definition than the last one I looked at. I don't know where that one was, somewhere else, not the liquor commission, but the liquor commission just says it's basically you gotta be able to seat 20 people. And meals shall be readily available and served to the table. That's what the liquor commission says. At the state, I know I've seen another one that says you have to have white linen tablecloths and this and that.
So that we have to be clear, which one are we gonna use, right? If there's
Yeah.
more than one, which one do we use?
Yeah. So it's better than not having a definition, because they can always apply for an exception, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But you have to pick the more rigorous one, right? The more,
Which would be the,
I don't know where it's like, I saw it too, tablecloths and wait services and.
yeah, served, meals served at the table, tablecloths, whatever.
So why don't we?
You gonna talk to the lawyer? That's the best way to attack that. Where do you, what do you want?
I'm gonna call her, I didn't go over that.
She remembers the example, right? You'll get it, yeah.
So when can we have another November meeting? Today's the 11th.
Just give me some 2 weeks, right?
Do they need to be in the evening, Rick?
No, absolutely not.
All right,
8 in the morning?
yeah,
Serious?
I am too. I'm like, yeah, a little bit more, awake.
You know,
Why don't we had selectmen's meetings at 7:30?
Oh,
In the morning?
I tried it,
With a cup of coffee.
didn't get any support. There are, some towns do have select meeting, planning board meetings during the day. You'd be surprised how many.
Yeah, doesn't have to be in the evening, whatever the board wants.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that
We got
kind of opens things up a little bit, I think.
we have a board that's not commuting full-time
Right.
job, so it would be easy to do that. So we can choose to have another meeting in November to get going on, we could choose the 18th or the 25th.
18,
It's next Monday.
yeah.
Next Monday.
At 8 o'clock?
Can everyone make it in the morning?
I'm in
Yes.
Boston, so I gotta get up at 5:30 for sure.
Oh, you are?
Want to do 9 o'clock?
That'd be fine, better, yeah.
What time?
Yeah,
9?
9?
Is that
I
okay?
mean, is that,
No, I don't,
10?
I don't really wanna get up at 5:30.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So,
What time?
you want 9 or 10?
I get like 20 people coming to my house Sunday night, so I don't really want to get up at 5:30.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, let's just do,
But I'll do whatever you guys want.
yeah, let's just do 10.
That's fine, whatever.
That's better, right?
So what day is that?
9 is fine.
What would you rather?
9 is fine.
18th?
The 18th is
Yeah.
been proposed.
9 is fine.
Monday, the
So
18th,
at
9
9?
AM.
9 AM.
Yep.
Thank you for accommodating my silly schedule.
So, put a motion on the table that we have another planning board meeting for November to go over zoning on exclusively on Monday the 18th at 9 AM. All, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Meeting in the morning.
So we're saying 10 a.m.? Is that what we're saying?
9.
9 a.m.
Oh, now it's 9.
So, while we're on that subject, would anybody oppose pulling in the regular planning board meetings to 6 instead of 7?
No problem.
This is an old holdover, 7 PM, that's,
Yeah, I'm good at 6.
if we're gonna still have the regular meetings at night.
Well, that was the question. I mean, do we want to have them in the evening, or do we want to have them at a different time?
Or 8 or 9 in the morning. Fine with me either way.
We could change our planning board hours to Monday 10 AM if we want to. Regular meetings.
That would be awesome.
Ed, is that good for you, Monday?
I'm with you, I
No.
try to get the
Monday's okay.
selectmen to come in the morning.
Mm.
They wouldn't do it.
You're gonna hear complaints from people that how they gonna get to a meeting. Not to say they come, but they're gonna complain about
Of course they will.
Oh, for public meeting, public hearings, you mean?
it. I mean, people are used to 7 and then
You
you're
can still have
changing.
public hearings at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can still have a public hearing tonight, right?
It's just our regular business meeting can be at 10 AM.
So this meeting is going to move to 10 a.m. Mondays. First, second Monday. of the-
Well, we're having a second meeting in November on the 18th, and that's gonna be 9 AM.
Right, but going forward,
Will be Monday.
second Monday at 10 a.m., is that what's proposed?
We're just talking about it.
We're talking about
What do you think?
moving the planning board
What do you
meeting from a nighttime meeting at 7 PM to a morning meeting at 10 AM.
Okay with me.
Well, Well, is this building available at 10 a.m. on this Monday?
Sure.
I mean,
Karen.
Tuesday's better, because town clerk's open all day Monday, so Tuesday's a much better day.
She starts at noon on Tuesday, right?
She starts at
It's
3.
3.
Oh, at 3.
So Tuesday morning is much better.
I'm usually not around Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
How about Thursday? Is Thursday a good day?
well, we can try it for one and see how it goes.
Thursday's a day,
Thursday or Friday?
doesn't have to be Monday.
On Tuesday,
No.
Thursday.
Whatever works for the board.
Thursday, no good?
On Tuesday, Thursday in the
Tuesday,
office, but that's all right.
I'm
Friday, you have the tax assessors here.
No, but every Friday, I mean, every month on a Friday, is that bad?
We can do Monday, we can go over to the other building too, if we don't want to be
Oh, that's true.
here with people coming to the town clerk. Then again, if she's open, maybe someone will come in and join us. Try it. We're gonna try it the 18th anyway, we'll be here.
Yeah.
So, and then the next meeting would be December 9th
Yes.
at 10 o'clock. I'm actually not here that day,
Well, it's,
I wanna
it'll
play.
take time to get
Nice.
the groove. if
You
we
wouldn't
go
be
to-
here though in the evening then, right?
Not, I'm supposed to be back. No, I have a 2:30 flight from back from Vegas.
From where?
I wouldn't be back.
I can tell you now, I'm not gonna be here tonight,
Yeah.
so, no matter what time it is on the night.
So we can move the December meeting when it gets close to, we can move it to the 2nd or the 16th.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd love to see it on the 2nd in December because on the 5th I'm getting my right knee done.
Sold.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Second's great.
probably wouldn't be here on the 9th.
Let's do the second.
December
Do we do it on the morning or at night?
Good, 3 months.
Bring like munchkins.
Morning munchkins. So December 2nd at what time?
Can we do 9?
Yes.
9? Make a motion to have the next regular meeting December 2nd at 9 a.m.
Second.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll have the website changed.
Yay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna
Good
do
move.
How are you gonna do that, Rick? How are you gonna get the website changed? Because if you look at the website, it's an embarrassment.
Oh, just a schedule?
Even our schedule even isn't on there. Our minutes aren't in there. It's ridiculous.
I'm not a web guy.
No, nobody is. That's my
I'm
point.
completely against that.
We need a web guy.
We have a web designer who's working on our website for our farm. He's really good. He's not cheap, but he's.
Oh, well, I was hoping you were gonna say it was cheap.
It's Apex Designs, he's in Wakefield. And he's pretty available. I mean, he's busy, but.
Well, I don't know.
If you want to interview the guy.
Is
We
that,
have a website guy every 10, don't we?
Well,
No.
we got a website, we're not doing maintenance, we're not submitting the documentation to
that's why
tell
I'm
me to
asking
put it
the
up.
question.
I mean, we got the design done, we're just, the data's missing.
So how does Rick get that done? What does he do?
I asked Leah to change the hours.
Okay, and if we get
Well, but
her,
we asked Leah to do a lot of things, and I'm sure she's busy.
Well, we've been off her back for a while. We could get her to change the hours.
and if we submit the approved meeting minutes to her, she'll post them.
You volunteer?
So we're not.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
No, I don't know how to do that shit. I'm just frustrated that we have a website, you know, Ed's name isn't even on it in the roster. The minutes aren't on there. I mean, we're either gonna have it and put it there, because it makes us look bad, I think.
so Mark, they feel the responsibilities.
So we,
Of updating the
not
website, yeah.
that it solves the problem, not that it solves the problem, but we documented the process that we're supposed to follow, the town's supposed to follow with meeting minutes.
We had our first review last Tuesday. Second review is this coming Tuesday. It details out what you're supposed to do when you approve meeting minutes. Copy goes to Craig, copy goes to Leah, copy goes in the book. Because we find that the various committees just don't, maybe we never told them. Maybe they, people change. So we've documented it, we'll see if that works. We're gonna hand it out to all the committees, all the departments.
We get the hard copy minutes.
Pardon?
The hard copy minutes are good now.
They're in the book.
Well, they will be, from
Wait,
what
and
we
you
just approved.
give Craig a copy.
I have been.
Okay.
And do you tell Leah to put it in the?
Yeah, and I sent it to her.
So she doesn't put it in?
Well, it's probably.
So that's a different problem.
It's probably only happened once or twice.
I mean, it's just, maybe I'm being too
You're right on. You're right on.
ballsy about it, but it's just
Well, web
crazy.
guys, give us a break.
Who does the,
We're not web guys.
Well, none of us are. The point is, we have a need, and we need to fix it, or fill it, or spend money on it, or do something. Rather than just keep doing what we're doing, which is, we're doing what we do. It's not bad, but it's not great.
But the roster's, it's not on the roster.
No.
Anyone else missing?
It's blank for me, and I don't know if these terms are correct.
Well, I wonder, like the agendas don't go in there, all the stuff we're supposed to do, we're not doing.
Agenda doesn't need to be posted, right?
Right.
It doesn't need to be posted?
It doesn't need to be
That's a
posted. Why would
courtesy.
you not post an agenda for a planning board? That's.
Yeah.
That's a courtesy for the public.
I know it's a courtesy, but it doesn't make any sense to have a website and not put it on.
Yeah.
Tim always had it up, every single month.
On the website?
Yeah. How's the public supposed to know what you're gonna be doing? I'm sorry.
Any more business?
No, I totally
I was
agree.
gonna suggest, I don't know if everybody's looked at this. It's kind of.
Don't look at it, it's scary.
It is.
No.
It's Stafford Municipal, the master plan update.
Oh, yeah, I saw this came around. Well, fortunately.
25,000, I think it was, or something.
25 grand is what it came out to, but if you look at the back, it's 43 grand.
That's right.
But if you talk about it, I'm sure that I can work with them and probably not spend more than 10 if we even had to do that. Because quite frankly, we did a survey in 2018, which is not as far back as when the master plan started in 1990, right? And we did revisions formally in 2006. So it is a mess, we all know that, or it needs improvement. It needs updating, let's put it that way.
It needs updated.
Right. So,
It doesn't have to be like Rochester or Dover.
no, in fact, when I showed it to Jen, who you guys met, right? I missed that meeting, but she was here to explain what they do, etc. So she's the director. I met with her and sat with her. She took 45 minutes. I brought the master plan. They had written the first master plan, or at least were heavily involved in it, I don't know. And so she said, look, this is pretty concrete. This is pretty concise in her view compared to other towns that have mounds of it. All we need is a master plan with a vision, land use, right? And in my mind, the other things are things that we can talk about, but they're not top of mind, right?
Could we have a two-pager,
We could have,
master plan on a couple pages?
Don't you have to have some maps? You have to
Well,
have maps and
yeah,
stuff in it, though.
like those maps. I mean, are those maps from 2008 accurate? I have no idea. Maybe somebody knows better than I.
I don't think it was 8, it was 2.
I mean, it's really small
2006.
print on what that is. It was 2006, somewhere around.
Yeah, 6.
So I don't know if those are accurate, if they need to be updated, if anything has really changed or not. I don't know, but I don't know what you guys think. The demographics and all that good stuff I can pick right off the internet on the regional planning website. So it has all the Brookfield stats, so that's easy to do. I'm happy to be the champion of doing it with support with you guys. And I don't think we need, I think we might want to run a couple of things by the public to get their input. You know, has our vision changed? Probably not, which is just basically to be a nice farming, you know, community and, you know, not interested in commercial development, right? Which,
Protecting open space.
yeah, the
But it's
natural
just-
resources, so.
If we put it together, we'll have a public hearing, they can come and have input on it.
Right, I mean, I think there's lots of ways to get the public involved when we, you know, have you know, the veterans dinner, or the ice cream social, or the whatever. We can always use that time to ask questions and get feedback and input.
Food and swag, that gets in it.
I'm sorry?
Food and swag
Yeah.
gets people to attend.
Absolutely. You know, so I think on some of the land use stuff, see, we don't know, is my concern. And what other towns have in their land use plan that we haven't even thought of. And there's a lot of stuff that they're doing that doesn't match what we do, because we're not a commercial zone town.
We just have 2 zones,
Right.
residential agriculture.
Right. So I asked what town in Carroll County is similar to our town as a profile, so we could talk to them. And they said, no one.
No.
The closest was Madbury?
But that's south, see, that's in
Yeah,
their
but
zone.
That's by
No,
Durham.
we're in their zone too.
No,
I mean,
Madbury is in the Stratford
Rockingham.
Regional Planning Zone.
Correct.
If you go, we always use Albany, which is in the Lakes Region Planning Zone,
Oh, okay, I got you.
and that's about the same population, same everything, same.
Got it.
And what's the only commercial use there? Like
They don't have
Tin
it.
Mountain?
No, I don't think they
No,
have,
they have
they have a
commercial.
national, they have a national park up there,
I think that MB Tractor's actually in Albany.
maybe. That's close, but maybe.
Some of they call it Comeau rental, I think that's Albany. All that stuff's in Albany.
Okay.
So I can see
That's
them
right
looking
here,
for
right
Madbury,
here.
because that's in their zone.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the closest one in
For-
their zone,
in
because
their
that was
zone.
at their meeting.
We go to Albany for comparison.
So do we have Albany's, I mean, we can look, it's probably on the internet, what their land use thing is, right? What they have in their land use.
We've looked at their zoning before,
And-
for comparison, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we can do that. But that's my only concern. I would love to have one of them. I'd like to spend, maybe we have to spend $5,000 or something, but at least to get perspective about how the region land use is married up with our land use, and what are we missing, and what don't we have in there? I mean, like solar. We didn't have anything for solar. And then we had an issue, so then we came up with something for solar. So rather than being reactive, try to be proactive. And I don't know what those land use issues might be or might not be.
Right.
So I don't think we need to spend $25,000 at all. You know,
There was a time when we were part of Lakes Region.
oh, for that, okay, yeah.
And I think they moved to Stratford for convenience, it's closer.
Okay.
There's also another one up in Conway, right?
There's 9 in the state, 9 regions.
We were part of the Lakes Region, indicated,
That's over in Meredith.
but their focus was on the big lakes. So we felt like we didn't belong there.
Right.
So we moved down to Stratford, and their focus is on the big cities.
So we don't belong there
I
either.
don't think anything.
That's the thing.
Nobody wants us.
What does Wakefield do?
They're Stratford.
So anyway.
I think we should take Marshall up on his proposal and spend some money and try to get this done, because we've been trying for 12 years to get a new master plan. And if we could put some money behind it and get it done, I'd say that's great.
So does that need a warrant article?
What we'll do is we'll put it in the operating budget.
Oh, okay. Do we have a
And that's
CIP?
voted on by select.
We'll propose it, and then the town will have a public hearing,
Okay.
and then it goes to the town meeting. But I think we can argue it, my goodness, we don't have a lot of volunteers that want to do this for us.
Right.
So for some money, and Marshall wants to head it up, I think we should
Yeah.
take up.
might ask you
That's
guys to
great.
do something though.
If you get us a master plan, it might outlast us.
Hopefully it will.
Kick
Another
that-
20
kick that
years
can
or
of
so.
road.
That's right.
Yeah.
So how much money should we put in the budget? 10?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
And put it in operating under the planning board. Why? Is because we're gonna get some help on our master plan.
I think a lot of people who are frustrated that it hasn't been done would be like, okay,
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Thank you. They're gonna say thank you.
yeah.
Well, it's not like we haven't started to do something on it.
We're doing that for 12 years.
I've got notes all over.
But just to get it.
I know,
We've been through it.
Well,
Done.
the question is, Terry, and I don't know the answer, but we did do a bunch of stuff, and I'm assuming that what's on the website for the master plan is the latest version of the master plan.
2006.
We don't know what's on the website.
2006.
Yeah, and we're supposed to do another
You
one by
can't- don't get me started.
2020.
You can't find it?
Website.
No, it's on, you can't find it, or?
Oh, it's on there.
No, I know, I printed it off of that.
I even got a date on it.
But I don't know if that is,
We're working on this one, December 2nd, 2019.
We never updated it because it hasn't been approved, so it's not on the website.
all right, so what we gotta do is talk to Tim, who has captured all of that, right? Terry?
Well, I've
I
got
would
notes on
think-
each page. When we started to go through this, I mean, we could turn this into a 10-page document instead of the 40 that it is. Or 30, whatever it is. So even, we even talked about having the historic resource portion done by the Historic Commission in town. Let them take care of that portion of it.
And the
That was
conservation,
a discussion.
Some of
and the
it.
conservation group was gonna do theirs and.
Right.
Or incorporate some
Um,
changes or
yeah.
something? Anyway,
I
we'll sort
started
it out.
it, and we didn't, it's kind of like, people have started parts of it, and
It
there's
gets,
been no continuity.
yeah.
People look at it as a whole, and it just becomes overwhelming, like the emergency.
I will not be deterred.
So
Not you.
we really, we will put it in the budget,
Yeah,
but we can't act on it until after town meeting, because it can be.
that's okay.
So,
My time is voluntary, so it doesn't, you know, I don't
all
charge
right,
you
they
for
can
my
say
time.
no. Town meeting, I don't think they would.
Right, they can.
They can, but so.
And for all I know, I can go, you know, if I went in to Jen or one of the folks I know there as a separate meeting, and I said, here's all the stuff, and help me out, and, you know,
You can pull an outline out of it.
yes. So I'll figure it out, if you guys agree. Do we
We're
want
use
to do
AI?
this?
Hey, write me a master plan.
What did it say?
AI.
Use AI.
Write me a master plan.
For a little town of 780, what is it, 780 in here now? Something like that.
They, I know a guy that works for, he does master plans, he's over in Vermont, and they did one for Wolfboro. I think they paid 50 grand over there for a master plan.
Yeah.
But it's done, they write the check and here's your plan.
Mhm.
We don't have that luxury.
I mean, similar to our solar ordinance, it probably makes sense to do somebody else's and just get rid of the commercial part of it, basically.
Right.
Well, interestingly enough, in the back of the master plan is, what do they call it? An implementation plan, right? And it has a spreadsheet, and it says, what's the issue? What are you gonna do about it? When are you gonna do it? You know, is it short term, which is less than a year? Is it midterm, 2 to 3 years? Is it long term? And it has a whole bunch of stuff. So could I get on the agenda Monday and at least give you the guys that to think about?
So it may or may not be in your books, but this is what it looks like. But the original books that went out didn't have this in it. This is like the last 10, 12 pages of the master plan. So it may not be in your books. If not, it's on the website correctly. At least what I have in my book and what's on the website are the same.
Well, then, even,
This
do
is
we
what you're
have,
talking about, right?
do we have, yeah, do we have an admin or, no, we don't have an admin
We
here?
have Leo.
So here it is. So could we have copies for everybody, or do I just make copies?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, let's make
So that way
it.
at least you have something to
If that's not in your book, it should be.
It should,
You want 5 copies, 10 copies?
however,
I have it.
I don't need
You
it.
have it?
This one?
Yeah, because I gave you a new book.
You have it.
lately.
You could, you need
I didn't-
it,
I didn't
you
bring my
need it,
book.
you need it, you need it. 4.
Is-
4.
Terry, you have it?
Implementation strategies,
Yeah. And then like,
and then these charts.
yeah, like,
Like this?
right, landscape stuff.
Go on the-
Yeah, it says implementation
2, we're down
plan.
to 2.
In the front
Yeah,
of
so
2.
Terry's got it.
Implementation program.
Anyway, if you guys could look at that, for the ones that have, the planning board is, that would at least get us started, right?
Well, you have something, Ollie? Well, are you just back visiting, or do you?
I do have a question. I was just wondering if I had a deadline on those paragraphs. Okay, so would you want it, do you want me to just email it over to you so you guys have it? Or is it just for the public hearing?
You can do that, because it will be at the public hearing. We haven't scheduled that yet, so you don't have a deadline.
Okay, do we know when we would schedule that,
No,
the public hearing?
not at this time.
What are the, kind of the steps into making the public hearing?
Site visit,
Okay,
deliberation on that, and set up a public hearing.
okay. And then, this is just like, maybe a silly question, is the public hearing just a regular planning board meeting that you clarify as a public hearing? Or is it on a different day of the week?
It would probably be on a different day of the week,
Okay,
probably at night.
okay, okay,
It depends on, it might be in the other building,
okay,
if a lot of people show up.
yeah, I just didn't know.
So, with, just as a thought for you.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, okay, what is the, skating rink?
Yeah.
Right? I would do it on explain it in a paragraph.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, what are the hours? What's the size?
Mhm.
I don't know, what's the other big questions people will ask?
Are there gonna be, is there gonna be lighting?
Oh, lighting, like, is it a skating rink and now you're gonna have stadium lights or not?
Where's it gonna be? Where's the parking gonna be?
Yeah.
Those are the basic questions, right?
I would sketch a big map showing where everything is on it. Where the outside bar is here, and here's the outside bar for the special events, here's the skating rink, here's the parking for the skating rink. I would put it all in this one big thing that you could put up on a chart and the town can see. I think that'd be clearer than anything. It might be easier for you to do.
The garage for the Zamboni. Where's that gotta be?
What if we were just going old school, no Zamboni, getting out there with wet rags?
Yeah, exactly.
All day,
It's
all
just a
night.
big bar, baby.
That's what the budget. We're not getting very big, okay? It's me and I have a lot of wet towels. I'm gonna bring that big van across the ice with just a lot of towels behind it, and that's it. No garage for that thing.
Are you gonna offer curling?
Maybe, is that something you're interested in? Is that what will get you guys over there? I'll do that for you.
That's a great.
I'm good at
What about,
stuff.
I don't know if you're required by law to have, if you're gonna have tubing or skiing or anything like that, you have to have
Is it 6?
a ski patrol or some kind of
So
first
there
aid.
is certain requirements for it, and it depends on the way that we are going to address some of these things. So for like a lot of like the snowmobiling, or even just as far as tubing and skiing goes, it depends on how we're gonna run that as a business. If it's going to just be open to the public and anyone can come and anyone can use it, or if we're gonna be a private members club, or depending on what we're gonna do for each of those activities. And then in addition to that, it depends on, certain elevations. Insurance is different depending on if we're gonna have lifts or not, which we don't ever really plan on right now ever issuing lifts again for skiing. I think the furthest we think we'll ever get right now is like maybe a T-bar or a J-bar or something, just because I'm a little snobby and I don't like tow ropes because they really hurt my hands, and I already have carpal tunnel at a young age, so no tow ropes for me. But yeah, it just kind of depends on how we're going about that. Right now, we are trying to get the tubing back up and running and getting all of that looked at. But right now, like I said, we're very low budget. We don't have like a lot that we plan on doing immediately. And with that tubing, it would most likely be like just Saturday and Sunday between, you know, probably like 11 to maybe 3. Just so also our disc golfers can use that hill as well, because that hill is also our big hole 18, which is our long stretch. So we want to make sure that disc golfers, you know, I think it's crazy that they're out there in the snow, but want to make sure that they have, you know, their time to go out there as well. But yeah, we have to be inspected. There's certain certifications for all of that stuff, and there's a whole different can of worms that I have to go look at besides just this. So yeah, it depends on the activities. I think one of their permitted land uses is like archery or something like that. I'm pretty sure me and Bridget have to take a specific course on archery, so archery probably won't happen. I don't have much time for any more courses, but yeah, so all of those things kind of require their own certifications and licensing and all of that stuff, so depends.
You got a big plate?
Yes. Eating very much, eating lots and lots of information all the time. So yeah, I think that was just my last question, is if I had a deadline, but if I can just bring it to the public hearing, and we'll know after our review and everything like that then. So.
We'd like to get a look at it before the public hearing.
Okay. Is that part of the procedure, or is that just like, you want to know?
So our next regular meeting is different. It's going to be in the morning.
Okay. So
Just so you know, so you're not like,
December 2, is our next regular meeting.
okay.
yeah.
Would the walkthrough be after the public hearing or before?
Before. Separate.
Okay. And I don't know if you heard my question. Is that part of the procedure for me to hand in that, or is that just because you guys want it?
We're asking for it to have it for the public hearing.
Okay.
The details.
Remember that if something comes up at the public hearing that's not addressed, it can be continued for a month and you can go get the additional information. So it helps you a lot if we don't have any questions.
At the public hearing, am I able to speak on
Oh,
behalf of
oh,
us,
yeah.
or would it be you guys speaking on
You'll be
behalf of
talking.
us?
You're probably doing a presentation.
You're doing a presentation.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I figured. But I didn't know if where I was handing all this stuff in
That's why you want
previously,
like a
you guys were.
2-foot by 3-foot map up here,
Okay,
easy one.
good.
Is that, are we thinking like January for that, or December? Like when are we thinking this is happening?
Public hearing,
Yeah,
it will probably be next year.
so planning for January? I don't know, I'm just trying to,
Yeah, because if the only other thing we have to do is a walkthrough, and we can get that done pretty fast. If that's the only thing that we're waiting on for our public hearing. Unless I'm mistaken.
Probably need to do the descriptions that Rick was talking about earlier before the walkthrough, and then do the walkthrough, and then public hearing. Is that right?
Well, that would help us.
It would be tight, but we have planning board hours Thursday, 8 to 10. If you wanted to come back with, you know, a rough paragraph on each thing and maybe a kind of a crappy
Right,
map that
yeah.
sort of shows.
I will get a good map eventually, but if it's Thursday, it'll probably be a little rough.
Yeah, just to have us.
It'll look like that
at
first one I submitted, pen and paper, so. Yeah, perfect, I'll try and come in for Thursday and present some of that too. If not, is Thursday just the only day that you guys have office hours?
Thursdays, after the meeting is office hours, so that'll be this Thursday.
it this Thursday.
Yeah.
He's cream and sugar on black. Just
Okay?
Okay, thanks guys, sorry to ask so many questions all the time. I get out to my van, I'm like, I have 4 other questions, do I go in or do I not? I'm like, they're gonna hate me. I always come back in. Thank you guys very much, and you have a great rest of your night. Bye.
Any member comments?
just on the conditional, I'm just gonna fix it. Right,
Okay.
that's what we decided.
Yes.
So I missed the last meeting when we approved it. So how many new things or additional things are they doing?
Any more of these?
Is that his staff
Yeah.
thing?
As it shows.
That's fine.
Yep.
You got more of these?
Copies.
Well, Marshall will even get one. Oh, he's got one now. I do have one.
That's not a
okay.
copy.
He's got my copy.
Full service restaurant.
For music, if they do cover music, you have to, the town probably has no say whatsoever whether they get licensing permission from the musical,
cover songs.
the artist rights organization,
Cover it.
BMI, ASCAP, things like that. We don't have to get involved in that, right?
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
We were gonna
that's-
do
that's all
concerts
it is.
over here, but it's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, 10 grand per, there's 4 major organizations. We want to do what they already but you gotta get licensing.
Is there enough paper here?
Can I come in?
Right.
Do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you have to key in
No.
It is.
Just
you
a
know,
copy.
with your number?
So we nixed that idea.
Okay, no more member comments?
Meetings.
Meetings adjourned.
Charge my cost.
So we're gonna do the master plan ourselves?
10.
That's what we
That's
decided.
okay, Rick.
We're gonna get help.
I mean, that's what I said to him.
Yeah. We're gonna get help. We're gonna start, he's gonna wait for
But I'll basically just say,
They're gonna put money in the budget, so we'll pay to get some of this.
yeah, but I'll put this part in
Even if we
in
can't-
the minutes, yeah, and say we just clarified it.
Yes.
and just moved it
So
over.
maps, oh, we can get it ready.
It was
Like the maps.
So,
He's on the
see all these,
CBA,
all this stuff?
Yeah.
And my question to Steve was,
is he on the Historical Society?
how could, movie theater, here's my vision of a movie theater.
Greg's-
A drive-in, big
Oh,
screen with 300
There's a
cars
few
parking.
people in town.
You gotta define it, man.
We'll get some.
No, it's gonna be inside the lodge, what's the saying it?
Right.
He's got a lawyer, I'm gonna give you something on Thursday.
Our lawyer, I'm sure clear the air with that lawyer, you gotta do something. That lawyer says, go for everything,
If she drops something off on Thursday?
hence,
Didn't she say she?
Everything brings something,
And
look at it.
more to work.
Collect
you
it.
better define it.
We're gonna give her, I'm gonna give her advice.
You're
No,
not.
now there's.
No, what we're gonna say, this is not enough stuff, we're gonna need more at the next meeting, because other people might have questions about it. That's what I would envision.
I'm just saying, don't get yourself in the truck in a situation where you're trying to have a meeting over email.
Because they're so
So-
About it.
He is.
So,
He is, he doesn't want to do
have
it.
a meeting,
That's
so.
right, well, that's, he's got
It's
it.
just
Monday
like, you know,
morning.
he should, oh, he has a history.
That's so nice.
Would you mind just